My honor to call upon DrTPS now. Dr. P.P. Sasikumar.
Namaskaram.
Space scientist, educationist, spiritual director, author of books. Great. I can see you, sir. I can see you on screen.
Namaste, namaste.
Namaste, sir. Over to you.
I thought I am going to be a listener.
No, sir. How is that possible?
By birth, all of us are relatively taking birth as researchers. There is no child who doesn't go around and then ask, what is this, what is this? Unfortunately, that is being stopped by the so-called adult teachers who are to be blamed for all that bad has happened, giving due credit for the great contribution they have made for years together. I don't know how many of you have read the book Eternal India, My India. I think people are just behind what statistics is available on internet. But being in India, talking about Indian education, if you have not read Swami Vivekananda's book on India, My Eternal India, in the whole book there may be few pages, less than 10 pages. If you can read and understand, I salute you as a teacher. If you have not seen that, you are unfit to be part of Indian education system. Amritasya putra. All children by birth are Amritasya. They are Amrit. Swami Vivekananda says, man-making is education. Man-making is by birth you have got some curiosity, quest. That is where the question came from. If you have quest, you should improve it with education. The data given, if you look at it, data, if you are not able to analyze it by yourself, even just now the presentation of a slide, immediately he says, look at the name changes. If you are not able to look at it by yourself, by saying it, you are a teacher. That is the biggest problem teachers are in this world doing now. Once the data is given, analyze it by yourself. That each individual in this world who can read, write, only three, education is only three aim. Read and write, arithmetic and comprehension. If these three things are there in front of you, the data can be analyzed. It so happened now we don't just give data, we give information. And what interpretation I have, I impose on you. So children don't have even time to think by themselves and become genuinely a thinker. The question is not there because the question comes before the answer is given. We are in a hurry. We are in a hurry. We want to finish. 1 hour, 20 people have to speak and finish so that we get a certificate that we published or we did a webinar. I did hundreds of webinars. Many people ask, I want certificate. I said, you want knowledge, come here. Certificate, go somewhere else. Certificate is not what it matters. Today, even in BTech, we had degree with a genuine certificate which says this job is done genuinely, individually, and nowhere else in the world it is published. And you know, more than 3 lakhs people are submitting such a thesis and 3 lakh teachers are signing it probably. We know as teachers it is not genuine, it is copy, it is useless, but still for certification we are supposed to do that. So the genuinity of converting the data into information, I don't think research happens anywhere. In India, the number of papers published, 80% is fake at the highest level. I was part of a private university until last year. The university pushes people to publish research so that they can be called as research teachers. There are different teachers now identified. Research teacher separate, teaching teacher separate. And they are forced because if they don't publish it, their category is lost. So it's all being actually made just for namesake. We have been lost in the name of certification, lost in the name of and same thing is going to happen most of the time. Children also want certificate. We know this is being mugged up, this is being spoke. Just because somebody asked them to speak, there is no genuinity at all. So forget about research, forget about innovation. Do you have little improvisation on the words which you are using? The other day, I was in a school giving talk of teachers, parents and students. 3 categories. That's what is DrTPS. Teachers, parents and students. I spoke a lot of things and I told them, you want a big name for this what I am speaking? What I told now is Kaizen's technique. Because we want good names to be given, right? What I spoke in the last class was 5S principles. What I spoke just now is design thinking. Yeah, you want names and give a certificate on that, you have been certified with all these qualities. Why? Why is it required? Are we behind such things? I think at least genuinely, Dr. Kalam, I know personally, we walked together, we stayed together, we thought together. I was part of the Vision 2020 Advisory Committee Board. My students are his people who are editing his programs. Nimisham Jalitam Srayam Nadu Dhumayitum Chiram. Be active every moment. That is what he wanted. But our children are not active. Acharyat Padamadate Padam Shishya Swamethaya. From an Acharya you can get 1/4. Students have to learn by themselves. By the part is the research. They have to learn, search for knowledge, not from the textbook. Thinking out of box is not required. Out of book, at least out of syllabus, out of the word which comes from the teachers. Teachers give questions, teachers give answers, same questions are asked, 100% mark is given. Are we not fooling the whole world? Acharyat Padamadate Padam Shishya Swamethaya Padam Sa Brahmacharibhya. Along with the friends, allow them to discuss and then come back with a lot of questions. How many teachers have got time to give questions and give answers? Padam Kalakramenacha, 70%. That's why it is called the 75% distinction is good enough. But today we categorize people from 90 above. Some of the app and the marketed software for giving tuitions are called 90 plus softwares. I am not a 90 plus student. I was less than 50%. Ask me any problem on any of these topics which I have covered up to my different subjects. Even ask me today, I will answer all of them. I did not forget what I learned. Can you guarantee that your students did not forget what they learned in their life? Did they convert the learning into knowledge? Learning into knowledge. That's more important. Add your wisdom, add your practical sense to that. If you can add practical sense to that, you are wonderful. I was a professor of management. I did not give their project to any of the MNC companies. Ask them, go to your village, find 90 problems and then come back. 100 children came with 900 problems around them. I asked them to solve their problems. All of them got job. Before that and after that, none of them got job in that MBA college. So you have practical problems around you. Identify practical problems and find solutions. Anybody needs that to be done. It cannot be webinar, it cannot be polished classes. It has to be working together. Identify some group of students who want this to be done. Connect to me. I will show how practical research can be done. Whenever I am talking to Sudhagarji, I am telling that we don't want webinar, we don't want class, we want ideas, we want PowerPoint presentations, we want a lot of textbook data. Forget about all that. That is being done everywhere. Let us think about practical problems which can be shown to children to solve their problems around their life, not somewhere else. You have to be practically around you. That is what is required. If that can be done, I think we are doing a great job. If that is not done, anything what we do is not good. Our job is to make the eyes of the children to wake up, show. That is why we say, I don't know how many of you know, Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo, Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma. That Brahma is creativity. Instill that Brahma inside them, so Saraswati will wake up. Knowledge, words will come out when Brahma is instilled in them. The job is to create Brahma. And once you do that, Atnana Timirandasya. Atnanam is a Timiram. Timiram is cataract. The students and every teachers, every people who are with education, they have a cataract problem. The cataract is not having sufficient knowledge. Jnananjana Shalakaya, give knowledge so that their cataract can be treated. Their vision will become clear. So teacher's job, I am not a teacher, I am not a sir also. If at all somebody can be called, I am an acharya. I am practicing what I am doing. Full time into this, no other business. And once you can implement this and then show them the eyes open, then you have done a job. Atnana timidandasya jnananjana shalakaya chakshur unmididamena tasmai shri gurave namaha. And I salute that guru. Creating such guru is what is the purpose of, I think, what is that we are supposed to do is that I can go on and on, but I thought I will not speak, I will just listen, but I couldn't stop. Thank you. Pranams.
Thank you so much, sir. It was an inspiration. I had never heard you before. I would like to hear you more. Maybe you'll
Just go to YouTube, type DrTPS. Go to YouTube, type DrTPS. Type mathematics, type social science, type geography, type UPSC, type IAS, type teachers, parents, students, psychology, sociology, philosophy. You will see at least a few lectures. If it is not there, you call me. I will give you that lecture also.
And we are very fortunate that Dr. TPS already worked with Dr. Kalam Saab and he is here. And मैं तो इनके पीछे दौड़ के इनको मैंने पकड़ा नरेंद्र सर के साथ. So he is in fact actually our guru. I assume he is him as my guru. So we are really grateful to him and मतलब मैं अपने आप को बहुत बहुत सौभाग्यशाली मानता हूँ कि आपसे कनेक्ट हो पाया और DKIF में जो है मैं जोड़ पाया. तो शुक्रिया. श्वेता मैम प्लीज.
It is really a very enchanting session. I would not like to prolong the discussion, but I have certain observations to make. And it is really humbling to make comments in front of dignitaries like this, and especially Dr. T.P. Shashikumar. A special request to the organizers that I would like to hear, if you can organize a lengthy session, not a lengthy session, a much more enriching session where I think all of you will agree that we can hear Dr. Shashikumar speak at length on this subject, because we as educators, mentors, content creators, we need to get enriched on the out-of-box thinking which Dr. Shashikumar mentioned about. Now, coming to my point, we in India, when we do a postgraduate degree and we travel to the United States of America, we are made to do, or we are made to perform another post-graduation from the University of America, in the form of graduate record examination, in the form of GMAT or whatever, because they don't recognize our post-graduation PG degrees. Now, a question to you is that a few years back, ISRO launched 108 satellites at one go. In one go, 108 satellites. And USA came running to us to launch their satellites from the ISRO launch pad, because the cost of launching the satellite of one American satellite was 9 times that of India. Sorry, 1/9 of India. So India was much more economical than the USA phenomenon. So what is wrong in the system, sir? My question is that if we are subjected to another sort of test in terms of post-graduation in America, that same state is coming back to us to launch their satellites with Indian ISRO. Something wrong somewhere. My second point, I would not go beyond, I would, not try to go beyond 5 minutes. My second point is, there are many research institutes in India today. The curriculum which we are talking about, in this curriculum making, none of the research institutes or the industrial bodies take part. Until and unless the industrial bodies in terms of job and the research institutes in terms of what research they want to do, unless and unless this spirit is inculcated right from the curriculum from class 1 to class 12, our research will not happen. Today's research is that after post-graduation degree, if you are not getting a job, there are very few exceptional cases, but generality is that if I don't get a job after doing my MSc, MA or MCom, let's do a PhD. This is the spirit of research today. If research is not ingrained in our system as a vertical of curriculum making by the industrial bodies or the bodies who are ingrained in research in India, I don't think that this research will ever happen in India. Research must happen in India, and for that to happen, it should come from the top to the bottom. It cannot go from the bottom to the top. This is what I feel. These are two of my points, and my first request remains of hearing Dr. Sashi Kumar at length once again. I, as an educator, I, as a mentor, I, as a curriculum developer, I would be enriched through this process. Thank you.
It's wonderful, sir. Wonderful, sir.
Wonderful. Very. Thank you very much, sir. So please.
I don't know whether Bose-ji knows that I am an ISRO scientist.
No, sir, I don't know. Thank you, sir.
I worked 20 years in Department of Space.
Okay.
My wife is giving an interview on Doordarshan tomorrow. I'll send you the link. But I think most of us are not connected because Sudhagar-ji keeps one group and some other group. I belong to a South Indian. He has divided India into two. Right?
Okay.
I was sitting in Doordarshan in Delhi. No, All India Radio in Delhi when ISRO launched Moon Mission to answer the public questions. We do great things only very specific few places. Education system is not involved. Even in ISRO, when we interview for a 2 post, probably 10,000 people apply. You can imagine. And IIST wanted to have a very specific institute. That was from my note. I made the first note for making an IIST, Indian Institute of Space Technology. When I was also in the headquarters ISRO, when I wrote to this, if we want scientists who settle in Department of Space, we need to start our own institute. Otherwise, all other public institutions are not fitting into what India space really require. Most of the industries abroad, whatever being taught here is not fitting into America. Therefore, you do an MS there, you get a job. But you do PhD in India and go, they will not give you a job. Because there it is industry driven, but here it's not industry driven. That's a problem. And our universities cannot be industry driven because most of the teachers are only being teacher because they don't get any other job. Not industry professionals are being accepted in education, academics. But in America, most of the professors are industry experts. So that's a difference. Academic institutions should open up for industrial people to become teachers. But then the payment has to be great. You know the professors in Hyderabad, I'm not saying professors, the assistant professors, associate professors, small jobs in the universities, they are given 6,000 rupees to 10,000 rupees per month.
Oh my God.
Where their children will get a job of 25,000 rupees once they pass BTech. But that percentage is only 4%. So the rest of the 96% people are become useless. So I keep saying academic institutions in higher level is called a soft prison. Because we cannot keep the public down in the society without being educated. They will start creating revolutions in India. So we are keeping them with the warden. Telling them don't allow them to go out so that they don't make noise in the society. So education...
Sir, I have a question, sir.
Yeah.
So I have a question, sir. Why is it that Israel and South Korea have a research spending of more than 4%, and India, which is much more greater than Israel or South Korea, has only 0.62% of GDP?
See, what we have a bigger GDP, bigger account for feeding poor people. That is one of the reasons. Number two, South Korea knows how to make an umbrella. We all must have purchased South Korean umbrella and Japanese staple pin. We are talking about great research. We don't even buy or manufacture our own staple pins today. Got it? So practical applications of education is not happening. That's what we are lacking. One greatest problem is population. Unless we have some control, and then even the agriculture is not being used. 80% of the agricultural land is being barren. So By education, we are taking them away from the roots. It needs to be reinstalled. So the maximum research should happen in the farms. One of the greatest thing, probably my contribution during the Professor COVID's intervention in life, is that I have invested all my 2 years of time in farming.
Okay.
Because I am basically from the root farming. So I have invested a lot of time in connecting to farm, talking to farm, understanding the problems of farming, invested some of the money and then let it go into mud, no problem. But I have given money to a lot of the farmers to experiment what can be done. This is what I have done. So I think we need the students' practical examples of educating them should be to go into mud and use their hands.
Correct.
If you look at the greatest researchers in the world, all of them have used their hands in some artwork, some handwork. Mahatma Gandhi, we cannot see without using his hand. So that is what we have to inculcate in the students. It's a great effort from Sudhakarji. We need to support it. Probably we need to polish it slightly so that it can be implemented. Otherwise, this also will become an academic activity which will be lost after some time.
Sudhakarji, I can offer you one thing. I should not say I can offer, but my contribution to your honest effort is that I make books, we publish books. So whatever effort you are telling in terms of your foundation, what ma'am showed us, if you can give me 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 pages, I can get it published in our books totally free of cost.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
These are all my books, adaptive learning. I was writing what I was, when Rashid ji was telling, all that points I was writing because this is part of this book.
Okay, sir.
Okay. And we must know the people. This is the history, makers of India. If you know few names, that's good enough. We don't even teach that to the younger children. I think that's a great thing.
डॉक्टर टीपीएस जो आपने बात कही ना कि जब तक वो मिट्टी में अपने हाथ को नहीं सानेगा तब तक वो एक्चुअल रियल चीजें नहीं पैदा कर पाएगा एंड दिस आई अग्री विद यू वेरी मच अभी देखिए केवल 12 लोग हैं यहाँ पे और ये वो लोग हैं जो 1 घंटा 2 घंटा और भी रुक सकते हैं आपने शुरू में ही कहा कि सब जल्दी में है चीजों को बस खत्म कर दो बस हो जाने दो नहीं I can see Dr. Avenger, he is still there. But Naga ma'am is still there. I am telling you, Fadnis ma'am, who is Prerna Fadnis actually, उन्होंने दिलीप फडनिस साहब के नाम से आईडी पे आए हैं, लेकिन she is Prerna Fadnis. And I am telling you, she has been following me up for last 4-5 days कि I have to come there. वो स्पीकर नहीं है. लेकिन she is here right from the beginning of the session. We need people like them. एकदम से क्या है ना कि बस हो गया खत्म भागो. अब वो जो है अगर इस चीज को हम पकड़ के चलेंगे तो कभी भी जो है वो केवल थ्योरेटिकल होता रहेगा. जब तक हम समुद्र में नहीं जाएंगे मोती कहाँ से चुनेंगे. तो ये मेरा जिद है सर, मैं रियली बताता हूँ और ये जिद जो है मैं समझता हूँ कि आप सभी के साथ लेके जरूर पूरा होगा एंड इट इज गोइंग टू हैपन. जब एक इंसान एक पहाड़ को काट के रास्ता बना सकता है, माउंटेन मैन जिसको कहते हैं, तो सर ये तो तब भी जी उसके साथ तो कोई नहीं था. ही वाज अलोन, ही वाज बिटेन बाय स्नेक्स, ही वाज हंग्री फॉर सो मेनी डेज, ही वाज थर्स्टी फॉर सो मेनी डेज. यहाँ पे तो आप सब लोग हैं सर, बहुत सारे लोग हैं, अब तो प्लेटफॉर्म बन गया है तो हौसला बहुत है, अब तो हम आगे बढ़ जाएंगे सर. Nobody can stop us. Yes, sir.
Sudhakar ji, you must look at one of my video which I'll send you. What I have done is one full day I was keeping my GoPro and then looking at how a plant, one string is being tied on the rope which you give as a support. From 7 o'clock onwards, when it reached up to 2 o'clock, the plant became tired and it was sleeping for 2 hours. And 4 o'clock again it woke up and one small string could connect it to that string which you give it for it to grow. See, if a small reaper has to grow with that much of effort, I don't know how many students have to struggle to earn something in their life and learn something in their life. So you have a lot of things to learn from the nature. That observation is good enough. I made that 8 hours video into a 1 minute video and then post it onto my YouTube. Forbidden Love. That's the title which my son has given to that.
Wonderful.
Got it?
The title is really.
So look at the nature, no? We need a lot of patience. Nothing happens. I am into this for last 22 years, full-time service. I've traveled to Noida when I was in Delhi for 2 years with the PM Manmohan Singh. I was in Cabinet Secretariat. I was traveling almost every week to Meerut. I focus on one school and then see how I can put this culture into them. And if we can make few children change like that and they become leaders tomorrow, I think India is changing. That's what we wanted to do.
So thank you very much
Wonderful,
for being
sir. It's
here, and
beautiful.
it was really inspiring session. Thank you, TPS sir. Thank you, Dr. TPS. Thank you, everybody. And last but not the least, I would request Dr. TPS to add a few words and सभी को जो है फिर हम बाय कर देंगे. So thank you very much, TPS sir के साथ ही जो इसका समापन करते हैं. Dr. TPS.
I think I made my comments here and there. I have nothing to add. Only thing, Kalam was a great angel. So one of my poem which I just posted on the chat. Kalam, if you rewrite from the spelling in the reverse, it becomes Malak. Malak has two meanings, one in Hebrew and one in Arabic. Arabic meaning is the decorations which generally on the dress which you have. And Hebrew it means angel. So I said salutation, or maybe my decorations to Kalam, who is a real angel. Malak to Kalam, the Malak. That's my poem which I wrote. He had a great dream. Not many things what people quote under him, including Veronica just quoted man making. Actually, that is from Vivekananda. Somebody keeps talking about Paulo Coelho. It's not from Paulo Coelho. Nothing wrong in reframing and then putting your words. But that ability to reframe is what is exactly required. So if you have the ability to not a reproductive teacher, be a productive teacher.
Exactly.
Right. When you quote somebody also, you add your value to that. Your wisdom, your experience, your value, your localized knowledge. Add to that. So that is what I do most of the time. When I conduct camps for children, residential programs, they keep asking, give me a syllabus, tell me what are you going to do, give me a schedule. I said nothing. If you have trust in me, come to me, I will tell you what is to be done there. Because it keeps changing based on the group of people. I think that is what should happen in the classrooms also. We can teach you how to do that within the curriculum, within the framework, but each class can be a different class. This is what exactly I think the way teachers have to become educators at the school level. Maybe higher education, it is entirely different. It's a good move. Thank you, Sudhagarji, for getting connected.
Sir, I have an offer for Dr. Seshakumar. I should not say it's an offer, but sir, if you really write a book on science for the little children from classes 1 till 8, or maybe from 1 to 10, on the let's say on the ethos in which you believe, maybe we will have a better India tomorrow. Why don't you do it, sir?
I am good in writing books, but my problem is all my books are being given free of cost. The reason is marketing books are because people like you know how to market it, right? My book on pedagogies and practices for e-webinar learning, which I wrote 17 years back, asked the publisher to price it less than 300 rupees. Because I was director for academic staff college. Anything given 300 and less, I could have distributed to all the university teachers in India. But that publisher made it 450 and told him, with a rebate you can sell it. I said, I am not going to buy anything on rebate. See, this has become a marketing world. You price it higher, give a rebate. Government cannot work like that. I can pay you the pound which you chap on that. Now I have this publisher itself is closed. So what I am doing? This is freely given in the website. All my books are freely given in the website. I stopped writing
So my
because
request-
I am not able to market my books. You want, I can make books. It's very simple to
Fine,
make
sir.
books.
My request, sir, you please come and write a book for the little children on science 1 to 8 or 1 to 12. This is my earnest
Simple.
request.
I can make
and,
it.
And let the proceeds go to the Dr. Kalam Foundation.
I will tell you, I can make books on mathematics separate, science separate, social science separate, because each subject the logic is different. See,
Exactly.
when Rishit ji was telling, I tell you Nane's principle for teaching, which says I have to be an inductive teacher, deductive teacher, and a discovery teacher. A maths teacher can be discovery teacher. But I am teaching history. I cannot ask what happened in 47, you tell. They will not know. So I cannot use a discovery style in my history classes. I have to be a deductive teacher. Okay.
Absolutely
So
right, sir.
induction process, I have studied about all the different styles of teaching which a B.Ed person has to write. Then only I wrote a book on education. But I don't have a B.Ed degree. But I must have taught millions of B.Ed teachers in this world. Got it? So I believe in, probably I need some time to come to your place and then start taking syllabus and then start teaching, and somebody can make a note of all that, and then that can be a published book. Maybe 10 books we can write on different.
Honored, sir.
So host
It
me
will
in
be a
some
pleasure and honor, sir, for all of us.
host me in some program in, where are you, Bosji?
Sir, I am originally from Kolkata, but I am based in Jaipur.
Okay, wonderful. It's a Ami Bangla bolchi.
Mr. Bose is, from Oxford University Press.
So
I was in Oxford University Press long time back.
you
but
are
I am now
in Jaipur.
I am in Jaipur.
Give me a place to stay and a food to eat. Give me few students or teachers who want to learn from me. I will spend a month together, and then you can make books out of me.
Sir, you come to my house, sir. You are always welcome.
I
Be my guru,
see,
be my guru.
boss, tomorrow I will fly from here to Jaipur. That is how I work.
Welcome, sir. Welcome, sir.
Give me,
Welcome, sir. You are always welcome.
give me a month, because I have few guests coming in August. But September first week I will be in Jaipur.
Okay, sir.
So this is what I call igniting the passion for learning.
Igniting minds.
Igniting passion for learning.
No, who doesn't love to spend time in Jaipur? Raja ka. See, you know only one place in the world where the chef is decorated like a king.
Yeah.
Chef is decorated like a king. They are called Rajas.
Yeah.
They dress up like Maharaj. Every
Sir,
chef is. Yeah.
Sir, I belong to Jodhpur, Rajasthan. That's I know the best thing.
They are called Maharaj, sir.
That's what I'm saying.
I think
Excuse me, everybody,
with the permission of Sudhakar ji, we can call Dr. TPS as ATM, anytime mentoring.
Yes. Very right, sir.
No, my last Jaipur trip I made a video. So don't worry.
Since ever I met him,
I don't know, Sudhakar ji, you must not have recorded it. But I have recorded the whole thing. And I can post it on YouTube and share it for you. Including the video is recorded.
Yeah,
thank you very much, sir.
I'm an IT in practice.
Thank you very much, sir.
So like ATM cards, we can just draw a lot of knowledge from him. Swipe the card, draw knowledge, swipe the card, draw knowledge. So that's why he's ATM.
Use my time if I am of any use to anybody in the world.
That's
Very right,
wonderful.
sir. Achha, Puspa Ahuja ma'am is there. Ma'am, can you hear us? You came very late. अगर आप सुन रही हैं तो I would request you say a few words and then we wrap up the session. Puspa ma'am, are you there? शायद सुन नहीं पा रही है पुष्पा में. So really बहुत ही मजा आया and ऐसा लगा कि समंदर में जो है हमने गोता लिया हो और मोती को जो है छूने की कोशिश की हो, क्योंकि अभी हम उठा नहीं सकते, अभी बहुत कुछ सीखना है, लेकिन लगता है कि उसके पास हम पहुंच रहे हैं. DKIF is also reaching to that level and I think that with all you kind people, definitely this dream, I think this is not my dream, this was dream of Dr. Kalam and शायद उन्होंने मुझे एक मीडियम बनाया है and इससे बड़ी बात क्या हो सकती है कि Dr. TPS is with us, so he is sent to us by him only, right? तो हम तो केवल एक मीडियम होते हैं. और मैंने जीवन में बहुत फेलियर्स देखे हैं, बहुत सारी चीजों को झेला है, तो उसने उन परिस्थितियों ने मुझे हम्बल ही बनाया है और सिखाया है कि कैसे लड़ना है। तो मैं समझता हूँ कि इन शब्दों के साथ, आप सभी की शुभकामनाओं के साथ, और मैं समझता हूँ कि हम आगे बढ़ेंगे और ये जो बंधन है, जो जिस बंधन पे हम आए हैं, ये बंधन हमेशा बरकरार रहेगा। रक्षा बंधन इज वेरी क्लोज, सो यू नो दिस बंधन इज गोइंग टू हैपन एंड वी आर गोइंग टू रॉक द वर्ल्ड। थैंक यू वेरी मच। गुड नाइट एवरीबॉडी।
Thank you.
So-
Thank you.